Let me guess, you're exhausted. Not from working hard, not from chasing goals. You're exhausted from chasing people. Every day, you're out here living like a performer. Every move, every word, you're wondering, did they like that? Did they notice me? Do they approve? And here's what no one tells you. The more you beg for their approval, the more invisible you become. That's right. You think validation will make you seen, respected, admired, but it does the opposite. It makes you forgettable, replaceable, weak, and deep down, you know it. That pit in your stomach, that nagging voice at night, that's you, screaming to stop living for applause that never comes. And today, that ends. This isn't another feel-good, just love yourself talk. This is about ripping out that need for validation by the roots, so you can finally build a life that's yours, one that commands respect, not pleads for it. Stick around, because near the end, I'll hit you with a truth that'll make you ashamed you ever craved their approval in the first place. Let's be real. Right now, you're stuck in a prison you built with your own two hands. And I'm not talking about bars and chains. You don't need those. You built this prison out of something far worse, other people's opinions. Every time you did something just to be liked, every time you hid what you really thought because you didn't want to be judged, every time you said yes when you wanted to scream no, you laid another brick. And here's the part that stings. The world didn't force you to do it. You did it to yourself, because you thought that if you kept everyone happy, you'd feel free. If you kept everyone approving, you'd feel strong. But look at where that's gotten you. You feel trapped. You feel tired. You feel invisible. You've spent so long trying to be what they wanted, you don't even know what you want anymore. And I'm telling you right now, if you keep chasing their approval, you're screwed. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. You will never win. No matter how hard you try, their standards will change. No matter how much you give, it'll never be enough. Because people don't hand out validation like a gift. They dangle it like a leash. And the more you chase it, the tighter that leash gets. You think you're working toward freedom, but you're just tightening the chains. Let me hit you with something that'll punch you in the gut. Most of the people whose approval you're desperate for wouldn't even show up if your life fell apart. So why the hell are you living for them? Look, I'm not here to pat you on the back. I'm here to wake you up. And here's the first step. You need to see the prison for what it is. Because if you can't admit you're trapped, you'll stay trapped. You want to know what the sickest part of all this is? There's a price for chasing validation. And you're paying it every single day. You're not just wasting time, you're selling your soul for crumbs. Think about it. Every time you hold back on what you really want to say. Every time you change your path just so people clap for you. Every time you stay in a job, a relationship, a routine, just because it looks good to others. You're paying in energy. You're paying in authenticity. You're paying in you. And what do you get in return? A moment of approval, a fleeting nod, a like, a compliment, a good job that fades before you even get to enjoy it. That's the deal you're making. You give up who you are just so someone else can feel comfortable. You trade your mission, your passion, your fire for a pat on the head from people who wouldn't even lift a finger for you. And here's the worst part. The more you get their approval, the less it means. You've felt that, haven't you? You hit the goal, you get the applause, and it feels hollow. Because deep down, you know, that wasn't really you they were clapping for. It was the mask, the performance, the version of you that you built to please. And let me ask you, how long do you think you can keep that up? How long before you don't even recognize the man in the mirror? That's the cost of chasing validation. It's not harmless, it's not innocent, it's you, draining yourself dry trying to fill a hole that can't be filled by anyone but you. So let me challenge you right now. Next time you catch yourself bending, twisting, changing for approval, stop, pause, ask yourself, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this to be liked? Because until you break that habit, you're not free. You want to know why you crave validation so damn much? It's because you don't trust yourself. Yeah, I said it, and I know it stings, but deep down, you know it's true. Every time you look outside yourself for approval, what you're really saying is, I don't think I'm enough. I don't think my judgment is solid. I don't believe in me. And that's the root of this disease. It's not about them. It was never about them. It's about you, running from yourself. See, if you really trusted your gut, if you respected your own standards, you wouldn't care who clapped. You wouldn't need the nod, the like, the comment, the pat on the back. You'd move like a man on a mission, and people could either get out of the way or get left behind. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That level of self-trust, it terrifies most men. Because the second you decide to stop chasing approval, there's no one left to blame. No more hiding behind, well, they didn't support me or they didn't believe in me. It's just you, your choices, your standards, your results. And that's why most stay in the validation trap. Because as much as they hate it, it gives them an excuse. They can say, I didn't go all in because people didn't back me. They can say, I didn't speak up because I didn't want to rock the boat. It's easier to play small when you can point the finger at someone else. But let me ask you, how long are you going to keep playing that game? How long are you going to let fear of your own power keep you weak? Because here's what I promise you. The second you stop caring about approval, you won't feel weaker. You'll feel dangerous. You'll feel alive. Because finally, for the first time in your life, you'll be free. Alright, so how do you break out? How do you stop giving a damn about what they think and start living for you? It starts here. Radical ownership. And I'm not talking about that Instagram quote, own your life crap. I'm talking about waking up tomorrow and deciding, I'm done explaining myself. I'm done apologising for wanting more. I'm done waiting for permission. Here's what that looks like. First, you set your own damn standards. Not your parents' standards. Not your friends' standards. Not society's standards. Yours. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to stand for? What do I want to build? What am I willing to bleed for? If it doesn't fit that, cut it. I don't care if it's a job, a friendship, a habit, or an identity you've been clinging to for years. If it doesn't align, it dies. Second, you stop negotiating with yourself. You know what's right for you, so do it. Stop playing the mental gymnastics game where you convince yourself to play small, play safe, play nice, no more. And third, you get comfortable with disappointing people. Yeah, I said it. You need to practice letting people down. Because if your goal is to make everyone happy, I'll save you some time. You'll fail. So stop trying, say no, stand your ground, let them be upset, and stand there tall, unshaken. Every time you do that, you're not just disappointing them, you're building you. You're proving to yourself, I'm the one who decides who I am, no one else. And here's what's wild. When you stop caring about their approval, the right people will start respecting you more, and the wrong ones will fall away. That's how you start owning your life. Not by reading another book, not by watching another video, by doing the hard things when no one's clapping for you. Stop for a second. Look at your life. Look at the choices you've made. Not the ones you pretend to make, but the ones you actually live. Are they yours? Or did you build them from scraps of other people's expectations? If that question stings, good. It means you're waking up. And if you're ready to start living like the man you were meant to be, not the man they wanted you to be, hit subscribe right now. Because everything I drop on this channel, it's built to help you break the chains, burn the mask, and own your life like a man should. Here's what I want you to ask yourself before you watch another second. If you weren't scared of losing approval, what would you change right now? Let me tell you what real strength looks like. It's not loud, it's not showy. It's not you posting some hustle harder quote on your story, hoping people think you're grinding. Real strength? It's silent. It's a man who knows who he is and doesn't need to announce it. See, when you stop seeking validation, your power stops leaking out. You stop handing pieces of yourself to every person you meet. You stop asking, do you think I'm good enough? And you start moving like a man on a mission. No explanations, no justifications, no begging for applause, just action, just results. You walk into a room and you don't have to say a word. People feel it. That's what happens when you're not desperate for their approval. Your energy changes. Your presence changes. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. They start chasing your validation because the world is full of men who are weak, unsure, bending over backwards for scraps of attention. But a man who stands firm, who moves in silence, who doesn't need to be liked, that man becomes magnetic. So next time you're tempted to post for the likes, to brag for the attention, to speak just to get noticed, don't. Let your results speak. Let your silence say what your words never could. You want to be respected? Do the work. You want to be admired? Build the life. Because no one respects a man begging for approval, but the world respects the man who couldn't care less. Here's something you need to burn into your brain right now. If you stop chasing validation, you're going to be misunderstood. And that's exactly what you want. See, when you're no longer living for other people's approval, they won't know what to do with you. They're used to men who shrink themselves to fit in. They're used to men who nod along, who stay in line, who seek permission before they speak, move, or build. But when you break out of that, when you stop caring whether they clap or boo, they'll call you arrogant. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. Good, because you have changed. You're no longer their puppet. You're no longer their emotional punching bag, their cheerleader, their lapdog. You're a man who decided to own himself. And to people who are trapped in their own need for approval, that terrifies them. Let them misunderstand you. Let them label you. Let them talk. Because while they're busy gossiping, you'll be busy building. And here's the funny part. Down the line, the same people who judged you will respect you, or they'll fade into nothing. And either way, you win. So stop trying to be understood. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be undeniable. Alright, you stuck around. So here's the truth no one wants to admit. Validation is the weapon the weak use to control the strong. Think about it. Weak men, the ones too scared to build, too soft to stand tall. They need your attention. They need your approval because without it, they feel worthless. And they hate when you stop playing that game. Because when you stop chasing validation, you can't be controlled. You're no longer tied to their opinions, their likes, their fake praise. You become dangerous. Because a man who doesn't need validation, he's free. And a free man, he terrifies the world. So here's what you need to remember. And don't just hear it, burn it in. The more you seek approval, the less of yourself you have left. Chasing validation is building your own cage. Freedom starts the second you stop asking for permission. The strongest man in the room is the one who couldn't care less about being liked. You want that strength? Stop begging, stop explaining, stop performing, start owning. If If this hit you, good. That's the point. Because this isn't a channel for men who want to feel inspired for 5 minutes. It's for men who want to live inspired every damn day. So, if you're ready to build that version of yourself, hit subscribe. Not for me, for you.